there was a meeting of 22 individuals, and this is when Regan Reedy and even Rod Class and them were involved. They were at the meeting, but it was after that meeting that certain people attended a private meeting. The only one of the guardians who was not there was Tom Schultz on that day, and Rod Class was not involved in this plan to nab the Demetrians, but Carl Sedlak, Warren Palmer, a bunch of the others were. And I have that list of those that attended, but it is on one of those other hard drives. I will get it up as soon as I can. Anyway, a while back, when Turner filed that lawsuit, that latest lawsuit he's got against the U.S. government, now most of you know by now, who have been listening to me over the weeks, you know that I have a lot of experience with lawsuits now. I spend an awful lot of time in Pacer and studying law and reading lawsuits, and I certainly know a claim for relief when I see one and a well-written lawsuit. I went and read that. It was nothing but a religious rant and a wah, they're calling me names, make them stop it. Not one time did he state any claim for relief or violated statute. Just asking for, I believe it was $650 million or something, in the name of all his followers, and that was the word that he used, followers, as if all of you guys out there in RuSA are nothing more but a bunch of Kool-Aiding idiots like Jimmy Jones had. Anyway, I decided to go check it out and keep track of it. And then I decided one day, well, I had enough time. I was in Pacer. I'd spend a little more time. So I looked at all the suits Turner had ever been involved in. And turns out he's been involved in several. One of them was the one where he keeps claiming he has that $17 million or $17 billion lien against the judges in Alabama. Absolute lie, folks. I've got the documents, and now you'll have the documents. All the court documents I downloaded are going to be on the website. You will clearly see that not only was that lien made null and void by the court and dismissed, $94,000 worth of judgment was put on Turner's head and Jack Mizell's. Every other suit that he was involved in, the same thing happened. Either it was dismissed with prejudice and he was sanctioned never to be seen in that court again, or he got a judgment on his head, or both. All of those documents are there. He has never, ever won a single case in a courtroom. Now, I realize that's not the claim you people hear. There are a lot of documents in these files that I have not even been able to talk about tonight. In order to tell you the whole story and every single thing that happened, as you can see when you go to my blog and you read all those articles I wrote over all of those months, and you need to realize that only about half of it was written into those articles. It would take far longer than the 3 hours we have tonight. However, by making the folders and the subjects separate, you should be able to put together what you find under each of those categories: criminals, emails, fake ID, legal antics and lies, lunacy, origins, personal attacks, promises, sound files, Texas issue, Pennsylvania, what kind of structure, and the document called link. That is plenty to keep you busy for quite a while. And as I said before, we're going to keep adding to it as I access my files, find all the back emails, and be able to access those other 2 hard drives. You've got plenty to keep you busy until that time. Excuse me. Let me get back to what is happening now. On that latest roundtable call, as I said in the beginning of this call, I heard a lot of outlandish lies on that call. The first one being that Turner had created some kind of a case and told me I could put, or anybody could, put evidence into it, but nobody's ever come forth. Well, I'd like to point out, I have not been part of RuSA since the end of 2010. The whole state of Georgia has been out of RuSA since then. Even before we voted to leave as a state, Turner announced that Georgia was seated. Seated by whom? That handful, 8 people who didn't attend the voting. And any of you who understand government, it takes a lot more than 8 people to seat a state government. And that was before we even voted to leave. But I digress. Also on that call, Donna Kozak made the claim that she had several phone calls with me. That's true. She did. They were long, and we were very friendly with one another. I had no reason to dislike Donna, and I had no reason to hold any animosity toward her. I felt sorry for her. I view Donna to be kind of a pathetic sycophant, but I don't hold any ill will toward her. On those calls, both of them, she was begging me and wanting to know what, if anything, could be done to bring Turner and I together. And I flat said, nothing. Okay? Now, on this latest roundtable call, she claims that I told her I had a vendetta against Turner. I don't have a vendetta against anybody. I don't hate anybody. I despise his actions. I despise his lies. I despise what he's doing. But I don't hate the man, and I certainly don't have a vendetta. In order to have one, he would have had to harm me in some way. I told her the simple answer to the question of what he could do to make me stop what I'm doing is for him to man up and come on a national call and admit to the lies that he's told and the crooked actions he's taken, to admit it all in public, and then I would stop exposing things. I would stop telling the truth as I know it. That's all he had to do. That's all I told Ms. Kozak. Turner claimed on that call that I demanded an apology from him. I got to ask, why on earth would I ask for an apology from a person I already know is a consummate liar? Why would you ever think that if a person did apologize to you and you knew they were a liar because they were lying about you, that you could believe they were sincere? And secondly, he didn't hurt me. He's done me no personal harm, nor my family. And other than he owes the people an apology, not me. He's not harmed me. I am too thick-skinned to let anybody harm me with words. They're words. They're not bullets. So, no, I never demanded an apology from him. I don't want one. I do want him to apologize to the people. The third thing he said was that he would challenge me and Drake to have a debate with him on the radio or in public. Now, Drake's decision is Drake's decision. I don't speak for him. And I'm sure he'll pipe up with what he's got to say about it in a minute. But the way I look at it, I was involved in getting the paperwork done that has been done for this nation to provide civil authority to the people. And I was personally instructed from the very beginning not to allow any signatures on any paperwork in any state from anyone who was affiliated with Turner or another individual who's not even located over here in the United States. We took great pains to make sure that didn't happen. Turner did try to infiltrate, but we stopped it. There's nothing to debate. I can't think of anything I would want to debate with the man. What we did in the various states is done. It's over and done. yes, we did take it upon ourselves to expand, and hopefully the rest of the 50 states will get their documentation done. But we met the requirement of what we were asked to do. It is a done deal. He claimed we sent paperwork to The Hague, and it was rejected and returned because the world recognizes him as the president and the only government of the United States. Well, guess what, Timmy? We didn't send any papers to The Hague. It didn't go to The Hague. And how many of you out there understand The Hague, as they are referring to it, they're meaning the court, the World Court, the enforcement arm of the UN. First of all, why would we send anything there? Why would we file papers with them? We're Americans, all of us. We don't need anybody's permission, opinion, or recognition to be who and what we are. Free, independent Americans. We didn't file anything. We used a particular office in the city of The Hague as a gigantic newspaper or bulletin board. We put the world on notice that the people of America are free and independent, that the states in America are free nation states like they were intended to be, never mind the twisted, inaccurate education Turner likes to spout. It's absolutely untrue. We were intended to be free states with a small central government, limited, in order to take care of certain things that states need to do together, such as a navy, foreign commerce, commerce with the Indian nations, and commerce among the states, not within. The national level government was never meant to have any jurisdiction whatsoever within the borders of any independent state. That's all we did. We gave the world notice that that's what and who we are. It stands. It is not an application. So therefore, I ask, what could possibly have been returned or rejected? All we needed was the signature that they got it, and we have it. So it's all done. There's nothing to debate. There's no reason to do that. And if the American military and the others who asked us to do this consider Tim Turner so irrelevant that in all this time they would not talk to him, who am I to argue? I was asked not to involve them, and I won't. And I see no reason to. I won't give him a platform. This is my opinion. Mr. Turner, if you are a president, I'm sure you can arrange your own venue. And with that said, I will now allow Drake to give his opinion of that gauntlet.
My goodness, Terry. How am I supposed to follow that act?
Just how do you feel about having a debate?
Yeah, well, he can take his debate and put it where the sun don't shine. I wouldn't talk to the turkey, period. There is a thing that's called relevancy, which means that if you ain't, that means you can't. Those who can't teach, and the man ain't got much to say, so, who wants to talk to a wall? Basically, that's my opinion of that. And Turner, a lot of people have been sucker punched in the freedom movements, and I mean there is a load of them out there that will skin you, cost you money, and all this other stuff. The problems are simple. We need to go to the root of the problem, and that is all in process. I want to personally thank Freedomizer for allowing us to get as much truth out as we could in the time we've been here. Now we're going to Wolf Spirit Radio. It's a new channel, and it's pretty dynamic.